Alright guys, it's Crack the Throttle here today, and riding season's just about over as far as events are concerned. So I'm headed over to my father's house, aka Gunner's Garage, and we're gonna try and get the DRZ 400s, new tires, get new rubber on the bottom of them, and just a little service. So anyway, we'll get into that, spoon those tires off, new tubes, new bead locks, or not bead locks, new rim locks, and yeah. And if you guys have a second, head on over to Gunner's Garage on YouTube, and I'll put that link up here. He does a lot of vintage tooling and blacksmithing. He gets into a lot of stuff. So if any of that interests you, head on over there. I'd really appreciate it if you give him a like and subscribe. All right, thanks, guys. All right, guys. So we're going to be kicking off the new season. So we got to replace some tires. As you can see, we're a little low on tread. We're going to be swapping to the D-sports, Tusk D-sports, both front and rear. We're going to be swapping out our tubes for the ProTrax heavy duty 3mm motorcycle tubes. Tusk D-sport in the back as well. As you can see, we're missing about a ½ inch of tread. And I've had this for a while, but just getting installed. The Duval rear caliper guard. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. And as for Pop's bike, we'll be doing tubes, and he's going to be going with the Kenda Trakmaster IIs, both front and rear on his. So luckily his aren't quite as bad as mine, but still want to make sure we get those hooked up nice and fresh, ready for the season. Alright guys, so this isn't going to be really an instructional video. This is just going to be a time lapse of me and my father going through and replacing the tires here. So we start off with my bike, and what we're doing is just dismounting the rear tire, getting ourselves set up. What we use are tire spoons and a 5-gallon bucket, some baby powder, and some soapy water just for the replacement. So we get into it, and we'll start with dismounting. We're going to go ahead and break the bead, and then after breaking the bead, we'll go ahead and spoon off both sides of the tire to the outsides of the rim there. And after that's done, we pull the tube out and the wheel out. Next, we'll get into cleaning up, making sure you clean up your the inside of your wheel, making sure when you off-road, a lot of times you're going to get just dirt and crud in there. So we'll do that, and then also I am actually reusing this tube, so I do clean that off. And the rim rubber band as well. We'll take and clean that off. This is me putting in the rim lock. So you just want to make sure all that's clear, so that way the tire seats correctly and you don't have any foreign materials in there just rolling around loose. Next, what we'll do, we baby powder the inside and the tube. And what that does, it allows for the tube to rotate inside the back side of the tire a little bit more freely. It just keeps it from binding up, because sometimes that rubber can stick to itself, and makes it to where if you have to rotate the tube to get the valve stem aligned, sometimes it'll stick. So baby powder typically helps with that. Once we get that done, we actually spray the inside of the bead and the inside of the rim with soapy water, and then what we'll do is spoon that tire back on. It seems to be the smoothest way for us. And just so you know, these tires were a motherfucker. I call these things every name under the sun, and probably said some things that would make a sailor blush. But yeah, so just know that if you get the Tusk D-sports, these things are a behemoth. I think you could run no pressure in these tires, and I think you'd be fine. You wouldn't even notice a difference. These things are tank tracks. And here we are, just reinstalling the rear wheel. Getting that mounted up. You want to make sure that your surfaces are clean, so your axle, and you don't want any crud inside there, and then just making your adjustments. So just make sure you clean that up really well. And then after that, we'll move right on to the front tire, get that dismounted, roll it over, and it's pretty close to the same procedure. The front tire seemed to go on just a little bit smoother. So again, we set it on these two 4x4 blocks here, and break the bead, and then we start spooning the tire off, again pulling that lip over each side of the wheel there and pulling the tube out. One thing I do want to note is that while we were doing this, we actually had a torpedo heater that was in the garage, and we set the new tires in front of that torpedo heater. Especially during the wintertime, heating up this rubber actually makes it just a little bit more pliable. So if you have a way to, you know, heat up those tires, or maybe just put them in your house in a warm spot, it makes them go on a lot smoother. Alright guys, and with this here, what I'm doing is, you know, I'm installing my sticker. I don't ever buy motorcycle parts, I just buy stickers, and they come with motorcycle parts. It's so weird. This one came with an inner tube, but, you know, that's pretty sweet. So I install the sticker, so I gain my 5 horsepower. You guys know how that goes. Don't try to race me. I have too many stickers. I'm probably pushing 400 horsepower right now. So here we are, just throwing it back on the bike and everything, getting it lined up. And we do my father's bike the same way. We wheel his over next. And like I said, it goes about the same. So I'll go ahead and skip over that part and show you the final product. And shameless plug here, guys. I have my online merch store available. If you consider supporting the channel and want to go check it out, they're all reasonably priced. I own the products myself just to check for quality. I only make $1 or $2 per item sold. It's just something that I wanted to do to get the brand out there and figured some people might appreciate it. It's got the basics: shirts, mugs, hoodies. So if that's something you'd like, the link will be down below. Thanks. So there we go. We got the Kenda Trakmaster IIs, front and rear on Pop's bike. We got the Tusk D-sports, front and rear on mine. And I think we're all finished up. You hear that? Yeah, that's what you want to fucking hear right there.